Welcome in the Self Love Club. My name is Marina. I'm boudoir photographer and the host of the Self Love Club. And today we were invited to Melissa from Talking Money. And I'm going to interview Melissa. We would like to know more about who she is, what she's doing, and why she's doing that. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Marina. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for inviting us here to your home. Tell me please 5 words that describes you.
Only 5?
Only 5.
5 words that describe me are, I guess, fun-loving, authentic, real, passionate, and safe. Would be the 5 words that jump into my mind.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Safe, the last one?
Yeah, safe.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. So, tell us, what do you do?
So I am a money coach. I have a money coaching business called Talking Money, as Marina said. I work with individuals and couples around sorting out their, creating their financial confidence. So that means different things to different people. So I look at, really understanding what their money pot is on the outside, so knowing their numbers and getting that clarity and awareness and efficiency around their money. And I also look at people's money stories, which is their internal stories that we all have, and how how their relationship with money impacts on our motivations and behaviours in our life. Yeah, so that's in a very quick snapshot. That's actually what I do.
Well, tell me, what did inspire you to start this career?
Yeah. When I've been a financial planner for about 20 years, and I used to have these conversations with people all the time. So these people were really, very good at their job or very good at their business. So whatever they were doing, they were very, very good at what they did. And there was this expectation that because they were good at what they did, that they would be good with their money. And more times than not, that they weren't, because there's this expectation in society that if we're good at what we do, we're good with our money. And a lot of times that's not true. It can be an inverse relationship, actually, because people are so good, they're focused on being amazing at what they do. But because they weren't good with their money, there was this embarrassment factor around that. And also bring in that, taboo. Money is still a very taboo subject in society. It's not polite or good manners to talk about money. And then coming in from the other side is, how do we define success in our society? How do we define status? How do we define power? It all feeds back into this into money and wealth, or what people perceive as wealth. So as a result, these people were embarrassed. They didn't really know what to do because they felt that they should be all over it, but they weren't. And so I decided to set my own business up to really provide them with a safe, the word safe, a safe place to have a real conversation around their money. So no judgment, no embarrassment. It is what it is. It's not good, bad, right or wrong. Just a space for them to actually have that conversation, and also then to provide people with the tools and the support and very much the accountability to help them feel more empowered and in control of their finances and their money.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Well, it's one of the subjects. Money is like sex and sexuality, which I hope we can change together. That it's not taboo anymore. It's something we can talk more about and be more educated and comfortable talking about.
And it's funny you should say that, because money and sexuality is very tied into how we value ourselves. So our self-worth, our self-esteem, how we see our sexuality in our bodies, and our relationship with money. They're all symptoms of whatever is going on inside us around how we feel about ourselves. So it's all very intrinsically tied in together. Yeah.
So that makes for me even more obvious how the money talk is related to self-love, to the Self-Love Club. So that's why
absolutely.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So, but tell me, Melissa, how do you walk your talk?
How do I walk my talk? Well, I think the first thing that springs to mind is I have 2 young children, so it doesn't matter how you know, how far you feel like you've gone on your personal development or your, you know, growth. There's nothing like having children to keep you very grounded and to keep you, you know, knowing exactly where you are. So I think that's a roundabout way of answering your question. But I guess I mean, first of all, I don't, there's no judgment. There's no judgment. It's not about you in doing a right or a wrong thing or good or bad. It's not, you know, I operate this way. I operate much better with the carrot instead of the stick. So my whole business is around supporting people with the carrot. I've actually been in this position many times myself, so it comes from personal experiences around money. Money actually was one of the main reasons that ended my marriage. So yeah, so it comes from very personal experiences around perhaps not being in control and you know, being confident about your financial situation. And I think I do this. I do everything I do with my clients, I usually have experienced myself. So, you know, from the negative side of things, but all the processes and the stuff I go through with my clients, the transformations, you know, everything, I've actually experienced that myself. So everything I experience, I'm actually able to share with my clients. So it's a really, you know, so it's as I grow and progress, that gives me more to give to my clients.
I see.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite story, inspiring story of one of your clients you helped?
Sure. I've got lots of great stories, but I'll one particular one, because it's been quite a recent one. A client of mine, I won't go into all the details, but she suffered quite a traumatic event when she was about 10 years old. Doesn't matter. But the resulting, you know, I mean, the limiting belief or the law that she installed as a 10-year-old is that she was going to be punished if she spent money on herself. So she's now in her 40s. She's been carrying that through her whole life. And it was through working with me, and it's just one day I just asked a question, and she said, "I wonder if there's anything about, you know, what happened to her when she was 10." And I said, "Tell her, share it with me." And she was just sharing me the story, and she just started laughing, and she just said, "I can't believe," like the penny dropped for her, what the link of that to how she is as a grown woman, and how that has really defined her, and her relationship with money, and her relationship with herself, and a relationship with money, and the complete link that had to the thing. And so, you know, I mean, it wasn't serving her, it's not even true anymore, but it was actually driving her whole existence. So we managed to challenge that, get rid of it, replace it, and so she's had a complete transformation. She's the same person, but she's different. She's the same but different in a really positive way. So she's really been empowered.
I can imagine. I guess it's might be, like you say, she's still the same person but different in terms of, I just can't imagine that there's so much weight were lifted from her shoulders.
I know.
Because I can relate to this story,
Yes.
not to what happened to me when I was 10. I guess in my case it was more the way my parents lived, that when I started to earn money, I had some savings, and then I got divorced, I was independent, and then my dream was to travel, and I had this money in my saving account, and I wanted to travel, but there was so hard to spend this money. I was sitting in front of the computer, found the flight I wanted, and it was quite cheap. But at that moment, spending like $2,000 on travel, on myself, on the pleasure, it was huge. It was really huge. And every time I would after that I would come to the next step. I don't know, buying something that is more expensive. This is a big amount of money. That was every time a bit. A struggle, a bit difficult.
So Marina, do you know what your trigger, do you know where that comes from? Do you know what that trigger, what triggered you to have that reluctance on spending that money on yourself? It's not a trick question. It's just, I guess that's where I work with, because, it's not about going through, deep psycho analysts or therapy or anything. It's just, okay, that's what was said when I was a child. Is that true? Is that even true now as an adult? Is that serving me? Because obviously we've got lots of positive, fantastic beliefs as well. So I'm only interested in the ones that aren't serving people and are at cost to self. So that's, you mean that it's not serving and at cost to self, and they're the ones that we want to challenge and replace and put something else in, in place. So yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So now let's maybe go a bit more into personal.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna have a cup of sip of my tea.
Well, Self-Love Club is also about the self-love and the acceptance of your body, no matter what it looks like or size, shape, age. So tell me, how do you feel about your own body?
I'm pretty comfortable with my body, actually. I guess that's been part of my growth of just really accepting me for who I am. So I feel very healthy. I feel very strong. I walk for an hour every morning. That's my sort of daily ritual. A lot of people my age have got sort of, have got serious health issues. I'm 47 in August. So I've got nothing. So my body is serving me very, very well. I look after it, but it's, I think it's great. Could I lose 10 kilos? Absolutely. Would I love to have a flat stomach? Absolutely. But my motivation for my lifestyle and loving good food and good wine and just really loving life is more important to me than those factors. So I'm very comfortable with my body.
Wonderful.
And it's serving me very, very well.
Perfect. I love to hear that. Sir, what do you think about women and age? Do you think that age of a woman does define her sexuality?
No, not at all. I think as we get older, we actually become more confident and comfortable in our own skins, irrespective of how we look or our size or our shape or anything, because we can become more confident as who we are. And I guess that comes from the, to go full circle what we're talking about at the start. It's our we're enough. It's our self-worth, our self-belief, our self-esteem. That's what dictates our sexuality, how we feel about our bodies and our sexuality and stuff like that. So, and that's not based on any external things. That's just being confident, comfortable in your own skin.
Yes.
I think that's the best way to describe that. Comfortable in your own skin. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, is there any item you can't live without?
My children, absolutely. And good food and wine, of course. But no, definitely my children. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And the last question, what is your number one tip about self-love to other women?
I think that probably the thing is don't ever give away your power because of your internal stories that are going on. We've all got them, and so we need to just sort of have that awareness and not give away our power, not be in that victim mode that life is happening to me and it's out of my control. It's taking back that power and really owning that and understanding that we are actually in control of our lives. And also that you're enough. You've got this, babe. We're enough. Wherever we are in life, we are enough, and we're exactly where we are or where we should be right now.
Perfect. This is a perfect ending of our interview. Thank you so much, Melissa, for inviting us here and sharing your a little bit of your persona and giving us a little bit insight of your business.
My pleasure.
Yeah, wonderful. See you next time.
Thank you. See you later.